Hi, Victor here from Real Robotics Rocks, where we talk about robotics and electronics and everything in between. And today we're going to talk about solid-state relays, and we're going to talk about how to use them and what to be careful about them. All right, let's get started. So relays come in two different forms: normally open, NO, and normally closed, NC. And basically what that means is that there's a little electromagnet inside the relay, and when it's not powered on, is the switch connecting or disconnecting? And that's basically the difference between normally closed and normally open. So if you have a normally open relay, basically the relay is not connecting when you don't power it. When you provide power, you provide a GPIO signal into the relay, and normally open will connect, it will turn on basically. And so that's the two different flavors. And now there are two different other flavors in the relay family, and these are called solid state relays and sort of regular relays. So regular relays, solid state relays. Solid state relays basically have the same function as a normal relay, but basically it's not powering an electromagnet. It's basically powering a little LED inside here, and basically the LED changes the state of a semiconductor and it switches, right? So with solid state relays, there's no mechanical movement, there's no possible arcing or shorting or welding or things like that. And so it is naturally just more reliable, and that's the main reason people use it. Now, the disadvantage of using solid state relays is that there's actually no physical disconnect. There's no physical break between the signal. And so there's actually a residual current or residual voltage that can flow through this solid state relay. So you have to be careful about, when it's off, it's not truly off, it's just high resistance. While normal relays, when it's off or disconnected or open, it's a physical disconnect. So that's basically the fundamental difference between the two. And so what you can do with these is basically you can build something like this. So let's suppose I have a Raspberry Pi, something like this, and I want to turn on and off a switch or light, for example. So I would use a solid state relay. And basically on one side, I would connect the GPIOs to the solid state relay, and the other side I would control the power. And basically I can put it all into an enclosure, something like this, and then have this side controlled by the Pi. This side is where the power comes in. This is the switching side, and then ta-da, you got a little Raspberry Pi controlled outlet. So I want to put a disclaimer here that these things can be dangerous. When you do switch on and off the device, there is still a possibility of a voltage on the other side of this. Unlike relays where it's a physical disconnect, on the solid state relays, it just increases a large amount of resistance. So there is still a large voltage. So what we got set up here is that we're going to provide power to this solid state relay, and using this power supply, and then we're going to measure the resistance. So right now at 0, we got 0 ohms, or infinite in this case. So when we increase the voltage, so here, so eventually there'll be a point where, as you can see, it's changing, and then now we basically are conducting now. Right? Now when we reduce the voltage, right, 0, the resistance goes to infinity. Right? So as I said before, one of the big differences between a solid state relay and a regular relay is that there's actually no physical disconnect. So there's actually a connection between these two terminals here, but it's just a very large resistance. Now we can actually see that if we change this to capacitance here, we can see that there's actually 12 nanofarads of capacitance between the two terminals. And so yes, it's very high, but there is still a connection between the two. Because if I physically disconnect, say in the real relay, I physically disconnect, there's no capacitance. So just keep that in mind when you're using solid state relays. There is a connection between the two. Another thing that I want to bring your attention to is that solid state relays also comes in different forms. So in this particular form, you're actually switching AC current So that's all I want to say about solid state relays. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any comments about this video, or you want to see other topics covered, just write something on the comments. And thanks for watching.